All right. Hello, friends. My name is Matthew Thomas at ProStar Business Development, where we say create your own success story. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy Wednesday to come join me virtually here at the Seed to Fruitfulness workshop, where you're going to learn the pathway from vision to fruition, thought to material, ideas to solutions. And there's been stuff in our head that's been going on for a long time, ideas and and there's seeds in you that you just maybe not know exactly what pathway to take to help that to become fruition. So now we need to see that manifest in our hands. If everybody agrees with me, raise your hands right now. Okay. So now if everybody can see me, can you raise the roof like this for a second? All right, can everybody see me? All right. And if you would, please turn on your Zoom cameras. There's nothing to be afraid of. All right, everybody's gonna look great. Don't worry, don't worry. If everyone can hear me, can you say, howdy, partner?
Howdy, partner.
All right, that's how we do in TXs here, all right? Now, take out your physical or digital pen out to write your notes, and we're gonna cover a lot in a short amount of time. Everybody ready for this? All right.
Rock and roll. Yeah, thanks, Thomas.
That's right. That's how we do it. Let's go. Now, when it comes to understanding your vision, you have to know what your purpose is in your life, right? I saw some staggering results on a LinkedIn poll, actually, that I posted on LinkedIn, and the results were something that I was actually surprised with. So here, I put up a question that said, if your age is 30 to 50, do you know your purpose in life? This is the result that I received. Yes, for 58%, but the no was a staggering 42%. I believe it's actually even higher, but this is just the LinkedIn poll that I did for a few days. And so that means, and so these were people that are business owners that are high up in their careers, and ages 30 to 50, a lot of them being towards the latter end of that age range. And almost half the people do not know what their purpose is in life. That means they're going about their days, hitting goals, but not knowing exactly what those goals are for, not knowing, what they are supposed to achieve in life and how they're supposed to give to the world. All right. So, so what is purpose? The definition of the word purpose is the reason for which something exists or is done. So that means, at least according to the poll that I did on LinkedIn, almost half the people do not know why they exist or what they're here for. All right, so everything that exists, whether it has life or not, animate or inanimate, good or bad, has a purpose. Your computer, your phone, your iPad, they all have a purpose. Your pen has a purpose. Even the color of the flowers, even the colors of the flowers has a purpose, because certain colors of the flowers attract certain bees and repels other insects. Everything on and inside your body even has a purpose, even the smallest things. Your eyelashes, they sweep away dust. Your skin is the most external protective barrier against disease entering your body. And so all these have a purpose. And yet, when it comes to people like us, it seems to be difficult for people to understand what their purpose is. All right. So you have to know that you have 100% guaranteed success to fulfill that purpose, as you have your promising destiny built inside of you. There is a purpose for everything that exists, including you. Okay. And you need to be able to answer these 5 questions to know your assignment. Number one, who am I? And write these down, because due to the lack of time that we have here, this is not a in-person live a session that we're having here. So make sure that you are writing these down so you can answer these for yourself after this Zoom session is over. Number two, where am I from? Who am I? Where am I from? Okay. And when I use the words who am I, it's not just about your titles or your roles. It's who am I? Who am I of what I was made to be? What am I here for, right? Where am I from? Why am I here? Is the number three. What can I do? And then where am I going? If you're able to successfully answer these questions, you know your purpose in life. Once you answer these questions is when you're able to understand, be able to know what your vision might be for your life as well. So be yourself. You were designed to be yourself, not someone or something else. I mean, you haven't seen a fish fly like a bird, have you? You haven't seen a sunflower try to be a horse, right? Humans are the only ones who seem to be confused on what they're supposed to be on this earth. Everything else on this earth, they seem to know their purpose. So you have an assignment. You have a purpose. So you must discover your purpose to be able to cast your vision for yourself. And then when it comes to when you're working for a company, you should know what the company's purpose is and to be able to cast a vision for the company as well. Okay. Now, to be able to understand what your vision is, we have to understand that there is a difference between ambition and vision. Okay. Ambition is, when you want things for yourself, right? People are driven by ambition. This is more self-centered and it benefits themselves. It can be cars, clothes, jewelry. That's ambition. It's not vision. Now, there's nothing wrong with some good ambition. It's okay to dream, but I just want to make sure that you know that it's not vision. Vision always improves humanity. Okay. Vision is always for you to share your gift to the world. Okay. Vision is something where that you have a purpose and then you have a pathway to be able to fulfill that. So once you know your vision, then you need to start on the following principles. Okay. There are 5 principles to make sure that you have your vision down correctly. Okay. I'm going to go through all 5 first and then go about them one by one. Number 1, write down your vision. And don't worry about writing this down fast because I'm going to be explaining this in detail one by one. Number 2, believe in your vision. Number 3, create a plan. Number 4, be disciplined. And number 5, surround yourself with key people who align with your vision. All right. Now, let's go with number 1. Write it down. Scripture says in the book of Habakkuk, write the vision and make it plain. Whether you have a business or it's for your personal life, you need to make sure that you're writing it down. When you have a business, you want to make sure that you have a business plan written out. When I take on coaching clients, that's one of the first questions that I ask. Do you have a business plan? A lot of people say no, and that's okay. But there's always an opportunity to be able to write out what you want to accomplish in your life and in your business. So be specific. Make sure that you're not just writing out a summary. Make sure that you are very specific of what you want to accomplish in, I would say, a finite amount of time. For example, We're all been hearing about Elon Musk these days, right? Okay. He owns, Tesla, SpaceX, Boring, Neuralink, and now Twitter. Now, for SpaceX, he said, we're going to land people on Mars by 2025. That's what he said a few years ago. There were some setbacks and so on and so forth. Now he changed that to 2029. Now, here's the thing. He did not pivot. He did not change his vision. A lot of people I heard, during the COVID shutdown, people were changing their vision. No, when you have a vision, it is set. Now, you can change your methods, you can extend your timeline, but if you have a vision, you are meant to fulfill that vision. Okay, and look at this vision statement here. It's very simple. We're going to land people on Mars by 2029. I implore people to write out a vision that's not, 3 and 4 or 5 sentences long, that's hard to understand. Make it simple. Like I said before, make it plain and simple, write it down. That's what Elon Musk has done with SpaceX. Okay, here's another one by Steve Jobs. This one he said in 1984. Look at this. The next stage is going to be computers or slates as agents. In other words, it will be as if there's a little person inside that box who wants to anticipate what you want. He said this 25 years before the first iPhone came out, before the first iPad came out. Okay. And so what I wanted to show, this is not really a vision statement, but this Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and many others that we know, they are living, they were living in the future and understanding what is about to come. And then they worked towards that future vision that they had in mind. In fact, they see the future to be real and present in spirit, but then they need to make sure, when it comes to the physical aspect, that he needs to align with what they see in the spirit. Okay. And so this way, make sure that you are thinking at least 5 years ahead. Okay. Then you can work on your 10 and 15 and 20 and 25 years from there. But you have to exercise your mind to be able to do that. Okay. Now, and then once we understand and be able to understand what the vision is all about, we have to understand that everything we see is actually born as a thought in someone's mind. Everything. Nothing was created without vision. We are actually living in the midst of visions of other people from the past, if you think about it. Look at your surroundings, your desk, your car, your clothes, the building that you're in, the phone that you have. All of these were thoughts and visions that people had, and then they had the right people in place, and now they had it manifest. But everything that we see around us were thoughts that people had in their head. So are you going to allow yourself to believe in the vision you have, actually? See, a vision doesn't guarantee that you're going to get where you want to go, but certainly you won't get there without one. Okay, so write it down. Make sure that you do that, because otherwise it's such a figment of your imagination and it's not going to become real. Okay, now understand that you are actually created for something greater than what you see right now. And so believe in your vision. When the world tells you it's not going to happen, your faith in the vision that was given to you will be your driving factor. So drive away all fear and unbelief. Don't even give it a minute or a second. In fact, put a formula in your mind that 1 minute of fear or unbelief equals 1 day of delay of your vision becoming a reality. Okay, vision seems impossible to you or others, but at the core, you are meant to make that vision a reality? See, you're in the right place. Steve Jobs made the impossible happen. Elon Musk makes the impossible happen. Bill Gates, you name them. They had visions that seemed impossible to others, but they knew that impossible is what can be possible if they have the right systems and the right people and the right mindset in place. So, you probably see your business in full action, in the future with 1,000 employees, a factory, your company's flourishing with many people's lives changed, or it could be a dream promotion that you have. But right now, it could be you and someone else in your garage or your basement or at home taking phone calls, like Jeff Bezos did, 25 years ago. Now it's $1 trillion company. So with this in mind, whatever vision that you have, believe in it, okay? And then once you have written your vision down, once you are believing in your vision, then you need to create a plan. What's the plan? You can, when it comes to your business, it can be a plan that you create from just searching on Google. It could, or you can put together a pro forma. There's so many ways to be able to create a plan for your life and for your business. You want to make sure that you not only write down your vision, but you have your goals and your strategies and your objectives all written out. Now, is it going to go exactly the way that you wrote out? We all know as entrepreneurs that's not the case, right? But at least you have a baseline that you can go with, and then you want to make sure that you create a plan. But I want to show you the pathway on what it takes for you to have your idea or your thoughts to make it become a reality, okay? And so here's how you can go about it. First, you start with your thoughts. We hear from people like Warren Buffett and John Maxwell and so on, that these people actually take time out of their day or time out of their week to be able to just sit and think. Just sit and think. That's it. They're not taking phone calls. They're not looking on the internet or anything. They're just closing their eyes and thinking. Yeah, I put up a post up on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. And I said the poor think about money all the time. The rich think about things all the time. And the wealthy thinks of ideas all the time. All right. You become wealthy in every area of your life. I'm not just talking about monetary, but in every area of your life when you start to put time aside and to think of ideas. People that are extremely successful today, like the names that I mentioned before earlier today, Elon, Bezos, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, you name them. These are all ideas people. They set time aside to think, and they manifest it in their lives. But if they go through a process, first of all, it's thoughts. Then that gives, then you need to confirm those thoughts with words. Now, here's the thing. We have a finite vocabulary with infinite thoughts, right? So we need to be able to write words down to the best of our ability of what our thoughts are, right? And so what happens is that when you write those words down, it needs to be so clear to help others know. Otherwise, it can be misconstrued very easily of what your actual thought is, right? So when you write out those words, you want to make sure that people are able to understand those concepts. Okay, so the more you think, the more you write your words out, and the more you speak your words, and the more that you intertwine these two, it starts to become your belief system. Okay, those thoughts and words, they actually yield your emotions. Okay. Negative thoughts can lead to negative words that can lead to negative emotions. Positive thoughts can lead to positive words to positive emotions. Pretty simple there, right? Now, those emotions can actually lead to the decisions that you make. So positive emotions can lead to rational decisions. Negative emotions can lead to irrational decisions, can't they? Okay. Now, those decisions lead to your actions. And I'm going to show it all in a map here. Don't worry. Your actions are going to lead to your daily habits. Your daily habits lead to your character. And your character is what determines your destiny or your vision fulfilled or unfulfilled. Okay. And so when you understand the pathway to your fulfilled vision, this is how it looks like. Your thoughts and your words. Okay. That kind of intertwines with each other, that you have continuous thoughts, matching it up with words, that becomes your belief system. And then that sets the course to your emotions, to your decisions, to the actions that you take, the habits that you have, the character that you possess. That will determine the destiny that you'll get. All right. So think of your thought as the seed and your destiny as the fruit. Okay. Because the fruit is actually the total fulfillment of the seed. Now, there's actually scientific studies that were done on thoughts, actually. Okay. So you probably heard of Dr. Caroline Leaf before. If you haven't, look her up. What she has seen is that, you know, thoughts in your brain are actually not just a figment of our imagination. It's not something that's even untouchable. It's actually trees of neurons that grows in your brain. The more that you think, the more real estate in your brain that it takes up, actually. Okay, and there's actually research that's done on that. So Dr. Caroline Leaf, who is a leading neuroscientist of our day, says that your thinking, feeling, and choosing causes neurons to develop physical trees in your brain. So the more you think about something, the more knowledge you take in, the more you process your thoughts, the more you are physically building your brain with neurons. Okay, so that means if someone read your mind? Actually, it's possible because they can see if you had you know, whatever thoughts that you had, how much of that thought you had throughout your life, right? So if you're thinking negatively all the time, guess what? It's building those that real estate in your brain, and it's triggering your emotions, decisions, actions, habits, character that leads to that destiny. So think of your laptop with hundreds of files and subfiles. That's literally how your brain is filing information. Your brain is almost a carbon copy of your computer filing system, but a lot more complex. So one single thought determines your life and the lives of generations to come. Let me repeat that. It just takes one single thought to determine your life and the lives of other people of the generations to come. So you want to make sure that you understand the pathway to the fulfilled vision. It always starts with your thought life. Make sense? Everybody say hoorah. All right. Now, number 4 is to be disciplined. Okay. It's to have self-imposed standards for the sake of a higher goal. Okay. Now, the book of Proverbs says, without vision, you perish. Why? Because you throw off discipline. You want to find a vision that imposes discipline on you. Okay. See, people are sold on products endorsed by athletes. Why? Some of you can take yourself off mute and answer this question. Why are, for example, whether they're, you know, any type of products that are out there, whether that's endorsed by athletes, why do people pay a premium just to wear their name on themselves? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Because they're successful.
They're successful. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did they become successful? What was it?
But I think Godley was going to say something to him before I jumped in. What were you going to say?
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, thank you, Ken. To answer that, I would say, a lot of them are successful because of hard work and effort. It wasn't just happenstance.
Yeah. So you're not just buying into their name, you're buying into the disciplines that they had in their life, right? And so there's a trust that's built in there, and you trust them because of their disciplines in their career, and so because of that, you don't mind paying a premium for that, because you're actually showing that, hey, I align with what they have, or I dream to be like this person. They can be inspiring, right? So discipline actually comes from vision. Okay, people without a vision, they actually live a loose life. See, when you have a vision, you actually have a much more narrowed lifestyle than otherwise. Vision actually simplifies everything. See, vision actually determines and tells you what not to do. Okay, for example, when you have vision, you will know what books not to buy. You will know what people not to associate with all the time. You know what TV shows not to watch and what conversations not to be a part of. Okay, so if I was to come to your house and look at your library, and I see what type of books that you have, I can tell you where you're going to be in about a year. Or if I was able to look at your bank account and see what you spend your money on, I can tell you where you're going to be in 6 months. Because you only spend money on the things that you believe in, right? So vision actually simplifies your life. It actually helps you to identify what not to do. All right. Now, so you want to also make sure that you're disciplined with your time. This is extremely important, because I see people all the time who had a vision in their life, but then they haven't seen that vision to become fruition after many, many years. We're talking about decades. So you need to be disciplined with your time. Visions fail because people misuse their time. It's the number one reason that people do not attain their vision. It's called distraction. They get busy with things that have nothing to do with the vision. Distraction is actually, let's pick that apart. The root word is dis, which means apart. And then you have traction, which, so if you put those two together, it means you're apart from being on track to your vision being fulfilled. A lot of times people are distracted, not because they're doing a lot of bad things. In fact, it's, a lot of good people don't get their vision fulfilled because they actually do a lot of good things. But the good things doesn't mean that they're doing the right thing for their vision to be fulfilled, right? Distraction with good things. That could mean excessively meeting people for coffee, going to meetings that are not productive, helping, it could be helping people in your neighborhood, volunteering. Look, those are all good things to do, but, and don't get me wrong, you should do that. But if you're filling up your calendar for a significant amount of time with things that do not contribute to attaining your vision, then you better start checking yourself and your calendar, because 30 years could pass by and your vision that was supposed to be fulfilled in 5 years, that cannot be acceptable to yourself. So check your calendar. And some of you still have diaries and and journals, that's okay, right? Assess how did you lose your time and lose the grip on attaining your vision all these years. So if you're busy with being busy on many good things that has nothing to do with your vision, you are distracted and you're on your way of having your vision unfulfilled forever. So focus on people, places, and things that propel you into your destiny. This is not being selfish. Remember, like I said before, your vision is to help who? Others, right? It's to help everyone else, right? This is not being selfish. So you want to make sure that you're doing things and you're filling up your calendar to be able to fulfill the vision that you have in your life. Look, I'll pull up my calendar here. And if you can see this, you see that? I used to have to-do lists, okay? And I used those to-do lists, but I saw that those to-do lists were never ending. I can never get to finish those tasks, okay, at the end of the day. So I started assigning time to each and every task, even to the minute ones. That could be, getting ready. That could be going and checking the mail. That could be, lunch, whatever, right? And of course, business meetings and all that. And I started assigning time to each task in the calendar, and it changed my world. Okay. And then I started hearing others doing the same thing on different podcasts. And I knew that was a revelation that I received. And I'm just sharing that with you because this is going to help you to fulfill the vision that you have in your life, because you don't want to be distracted. You want to be on track. Don't get off track. And fill your calendar to where you are fulfilling, going towards fulfilling your vision. So I have an exercise for you. I want you to think of 3 random things you spend your time on right now. Just think of that. What are 3 random things you spend your time on? That could be watching YouTube videos. I think everybody's guilty of that here, right? Getting into that rabbit hole. That could be, going to Starbucks to get a coffee. Whatever the thing is, right? That all of these take time. Okay. Now, eliminate anything that doesn't align with your vision. Okay. And these could be minor things. I'm not talking about major things. Eliminate anything that doesn't align with your vision, because a few minor things can add up with the time, right? And then what I want you to do is repeat what I just said for steps 1 and 2 for the next 7 days. I promise you, you will change your life forever. Okay. Just take 3 small things that you might spend your time on, even if it's just a minute or 2. Okay. That has nothing to do with vision. And then you'll start to simplify your life in that manner. Does that make sense to everyone? Say hoorah. All right. All right. Now, number 5 is to surround yourself with key people, okay, who align with your vision. Okay. For example, Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen and Rodman and Steve Kerr to help him to attain his vision, and he got 6 titles out of that, right? John Lennon had Paul McCartney. So with this in mind, your vision actually dictates who you associate with. A person of vision chooses their friends based on their destination. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? I'm going to repeat that. A person of vision chooses their friends based on their desired destination. All right. Now, for me, I don't spend as much time with some of the people I used to hang out with, because they don't need to be in my daily life, and I don't need to be in their daily lives, and I'm content with that. Okay. Of course, I love them and want the best for them. But here's the thing. I want the best for me and my family also. So I'm concerned when I see someone have an entourage with them. Okay. I mean, especially when we see people in show business and these athletes. So you want to be wise, like a serpent, to choose the right people to invest your time in. Otherwise, they're going to discourage you. They're going to make fun of your vision. They'll lead you to disbelief, and then they're going to kill your dream, thereby killing your destiny. So remember, you are the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with the most. You are the sum total of the 5 people you hang out with the most. I want that to let that sink in. All right. So I think this room right here on Zoom is full of people we should be hanging out with. Get to know each other, exchange info here on the chat, align with each other's vision, because for you to be here and to carve time out on a busy Wednesday, that means that you are looking for something bigger in your life. And you want to make sure that you're aligning with others to do the same. And so you're not going to find people like the ones in this room anywhere else. Okay. So feel free to do that if you want to. I mean, you can look people's names up on LinkedIn and connect there. I'm all about connecting. So I give opportunities to be able to make sure that people are connecting with each other. So again, just to review the principles, write your vision down, believe in your vision, create a plan, be disciplined, and surround yourself with key people. When you understand your purpose, and when you have these 5 principles in place, you're going to be able to kickstart your pathway to the fulfilled vision that I talked about before as well, right? Your thoughts and your words, it's going to start a chain reaction that's going to lead to your destiny. All right. Now, just to share my own story for a little bit, and I'm not speaking this from a boastful place, but I can tell you, I'm exactly where I envisioned to be at age 46. I started my own business 10 years ago. I was at the seed stage. Okay. I planted the seed in good soil with the right timeless principles in place. I watered the seed by going door to door and going networking meetings and building relationships. The seed started to sprout out of the ground as I started to generate revenue. I put fertilizer onto the sprouts by investing in courses and seminars and conferences, and the sprout became a plant in a short amount of time. Along with the right soil and water and fertilizer, I added sunlight to it by investing in coaches and mentors. It actually fast-tracked the plant to become a sizable tree. And then I started training others on becoming leaders personally and for their business. And the seed that I planted in the ground now started yielding fruit in my life. And so you can have a field full of trees that bear full of trees, but the one tree that bears fruit is what people are magnetized to. See, you have seeds that are of greatness inside of you. It was deposited inside of you with purpose. Those seeds are to become the fruits where people would come to you, and you would be able to share your fruit that you bear to the world. My friends, your fruit is the total fulfillment of your seed. If everybody believes that, raise the roof right now. That's right. So you are not here to wake up every day, go to work, pay bills for 60 years, and then die. You are here to make a significant difference in people's lives through the gifting, the seed that's inside of you. See, all 7.8 billion people in this world, including you, have an innate gift. And you know what? That gift is actually a business. It is monetizable. So it's time to know your purpose, realize your gifting, and become the difference you want to see in the world for your family, your community, and the world at large. Because you can go about by yourself and possibly find your path, which would most likely lead to decades of mistakes before you find the right path. As I mentioned before, I invested in my resources with coaches, and I quickly fulfilled the vision I had in my life. I'm talking about in as less than 12 months. That's how quickly I was able to see a turnaround. And so I'm a business coach with the Fortune 250 background, and I've helped countless amount of people in businesses and companies for the last 25 years. And if you check out my LinkedIn profile, a lot of you are connected with me there. You can see that I have testimonials of people that I've helped one after the other. So don't worry, I'm not here to lure you so I can, pitch you on my coaching packages at the end. But I am making an offer for you to fill out the form in the comment section, which I'll put in the link right now, to schedule a one-on-one discovery call with me if you're serious about just teaming up with me on coaching. And here's that link. And so, because understand that every decision actually causes a ripple effect for generations. For those who fill out the form, I applaud you, okay, for taking the first step in making a decision to change the trajectory of your life. And for those that don't fill out the form, hey, I thank you for your time today. I really hope that you learned something for you to change something for the better in your life and your business. This is Matthew Thomas from ProStar Business Development, where we say, create your own success story. I have another 12 minutes at this time. If anybody has any questions that you want to ask, I'll be happy to engage with you and answer them at this point.
Yeah, so you mentioned when you started your business, it took you 6 months to get up and running. What did that 6 months look like for you in your mentality, your mindset? Was that all during coaching? Like, explain kind of your beginning steps, please.
Sure. And let me clarify, what I said. I think you got that out of from the coaching. When I first started my business, I did not get coaching. So it took me a long time, to start to just get the wheels rolling. I actually, once I left my Fortune company, it took me about a year just to start the business. Okay. But years ahead, I started to invest into coaching, and then the wheel started turning to where I would say I even redeemed the time that I lost, there's a lot of free information that are out there. You can, definitely learn from YouTube and so on and so forth, right? At the end of the day, it's what you get what you put in, right? Because I did that, as well as, sit with people and get some advice, for free as well. Okay, that helped me a little bit. But when I started paying my coaches, okay, that's when I start to see the results. See, and here's the thing. And I learned this when I started paying coaches, because once I started to release, something, I think, when it comes to money, I mean, that's kind of near to everyone, right? Because why? You're spending all day working to attain that, right? So you can live the life that you want. So when I started to sow money into others, then it was just like, okay, I spent this much. I definitely need to make sure that I follow what that person is saying, right? Because otherwise I'm going to be wasting that. So here's my philosophy when it comes to investing in people. I charge, for example, Jane, you asked that question, so I'm going to ask you this. 10 years ago, let's just say, you had $10,000, right? Okay. Do you know what that $10,000 went to? Do you remember right now?
Raising children.
Yeah. It went to that. It went to so many different things, right? And so that's gone, right? So when I charge people, guess what? That comes in and it goes to different places, right? And so, of course, I'm able to provide for my family, but more than that, exponentially more than that, it helps the person that's being coached, right? I started to learn that when I started to invest in coaches, myself as well, right? It exponentially helped me. For example, when I first started paying in a coach, within 10 months, I got a 33% return ROI, right? And so so that's what I'm talking about. When, so these days, when I have sat down with people who wanted to, pick my brain, okay, for over Starbucks or something like that, every time, and I'm thinking of some people that have done that over and over with me. Well, guess what? They're not anywhere today after I spent hours with them. Because why? They did not value the free advice that I gave. But every time that people invested in me or coaches, and I'm talking about every time, 100% of the time, there's been significant difference in my clients' lives. All right. So that's my philosophy. I charge, not for myself, but more for the person that's my client. Right. And I think everybody here should know that. So yeah, of course. For example, this Zoom session is free, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm giving content that people are able to take away something from. Right now, at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm offering something in which I'm able to go deeper and to pull something out of people in which they can use that gift to be monetizable to help their family and the generations to come from there. So that's a great question. Thank you, Jane, for that. Does that answer your question in some way? Okay, thank you. Any other questions from anyone? So rare opportunity. I don't do workshops much. So
I'll ask one since you have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've known you for a few years.
few years, like 40.
Like 40, but who's counting? Maybe I'm going off topic here, but I'll ask it anyway.
Yeah.
What mistake in business taught you the most?
Okay. That the number one answer that comes to my mind is me not investing in the coach from the beginning, but I had my limitations too, right? That's the first answer that comes to my head. A close number two. Actually, I'll make this number one. The number one would be not starting my business offering my gifting. Okay. So what I did when I started my business was that, I started the business and I didn't start getting revenue in. What's the easiest thing to do for me at that time? I was pretty well versed in the digital arena, so I can help businesses with their digital presence. So I started making reports and handing it out to different businesses, and I gained clients that way, right? And I helped them with their digital presence, and they increased their business, no doubt. At the same time, it's not something that I enjoyed fully, because for me, it was a lot of busy work. So, but I did have the secondary offering as coaching and consulting. So my number one mistake was not switching it to and believing in myself for coaching and consulting at that time. So how did I switch around? Well, in 2017, I fell down the stairs and broke a bone in my back. And during my recovery period, I opened up my laptop and I knew this was a turning point for me. I did some soul searching and I knew, hey, you know what I knew I needed to start offering what I'm actually gifted with. And then I started to realize, you know what, my gifting is coaching, training, and consulting. Why? Because people that I've done that with, I have thousands of reviews on paper and hundreds of reviews, online, So when I start to see that, you know what, I do believe I'm gifted in that. I started to offer that as my primary offering. And I'm telling you, it's never been the same after that. It's the best decision that I made. So my number one mistake that I made was to not base my business on my gifting. And I implore everyone who has their business or who are in something that's income producing to start trusting yourself, start believing in yourself. You have a gift inside of you. It is monetizable, and you need to start trusting in yourself to be able to monetize the gifting that you have. That is your seed. Okay. Everything else can be a passion. Okay. Your gifting and passion, those are two different things. Okay. Gifting is something that you're wired with, right? You know that you're made for that. And you have an innate skill. You don't need to get trained much for that. Okay. Then you have your passions, right? Whether that's sports or something else, and I think Godly knows I'm not the best basketball player out here, but I like basketball, right? So let's just say I have a passion for that. Does that mean I'm going to get into the NBA? No, but if I was gifted, I would be, right? So that's what I'm saying. You need to go with your gifting, and make that your primary offering in your business. And I'm telling you, you will not have a 10% chance or 50% chance of success. You'll have a 100% chance of success if you have the right principles in place that I mentioned earlier this hour. Okay.
Thank you, Matthew. That kind of solidifies what I've experienced myself. I mean, you know, I probably talk too much about my business because we're friends as well. But I think about 4 years ago, my business partner and I made a shift in our business strategy, and what we did, and we operate with truly within our gifting, is when we were satisfied, we were happier, our time was better used, and our revenue somehow followed suit. So you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. So thanks for sharing that as well.
That's right. And I appreciate you, sharing your question. I do see a comment here saying the form is asking to receive permission for access. Is that what everybody's experiencing here?
Yeah.
No?
Yes. Yeah. I had the same issue.
You have the same issue. Okay. Let me try this. Give me 1 second here. Okay. As I try to go about this, what other questions, anyone?
What have you found, Matthew, that was the most helpful in discovering your gifting? Because it seems like oftentimes people, as Jane commented, they get stuck in what they do to make a living, and the gifting never becomes a focus.
Right. So this question is asked a lot of me, and here's what I did. You really have to take time off. I would say at least 2 to 3 days. Do a staycation, do something where you're totally away from the everyday responsibilities that you have.
Yeah, really get your mind clear.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is necessary. Then during that time, you have to do your soul searching. Okay. And that's the best advice that I can give to do that, because that's what I did. Now, at that time, I was healing on my back, in a bedroom upstairs. I wasn't able to be away.
So you were kind of in a forced downtime.
yeah. But I did shut the door and all that, and go about that. But everyone that asks me that question, I tell them, take your PTO, whatever you do, it's going to be worth it. Make sure that you do a staycation, something like that, for you to be able to do your soul searching.
Got it.
Yeah. What else? Any other questions? Awesome. Very good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send that form out again through to your emails. Apologize about the technical difficulty on that form. And so whoever wants to fill that out for a discovery call, I'll be happy to engage with you, and we can go from there. All right. Appreciate all the comments on the comment section. And look, if you would, this helps. Get connected to me on LinkedIn. I'll go ahead and put that link in. It's linkedin.com/in Matthew P. Thomas. There you go. And get connected to me over there. I'd love to chat with you. And if there's not any more questions at this point, thank you for being here, and go ahead and start creating your own success story.
Well done. Thank you, Matthew.
All right.
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
Take care.
Have a great day, bud.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.